Sri Gurubhaya Namah children, welcome to online session. Already we are discussing the topic coordination compounds. One by one I am telling all the concepts. Yesterday we have completed certain IUPAC rules for writing the names of the coordination compounds. I gave 4 rules yesterday to write the IUPAC names for coordination compounds. Rule number 1. I am going to recapitulate now. Rule number 1. Whether it is a cationic or anionic complex, the cation should be named first, followed by the anion. So, in your coordination compound, whether it is a cationic complex or anionic complex, first preference should be given to the cation. So, cation should be named first, followed by the anion. So, first rule is whether it is a cationic complex or anionic complex, the cation should be named first, followed by the anion. Rule number 2. Already I told you, we have seen yesterday. If there are more ligands in the coordination entity, it has to be arranged alphabetically. If more number of ligands are present in the square bracket or in the coordination entity, so the ligands have to be arranged alphabetically. And after arranging the ligands in alphabetical order, ligands should be given first preference before naming the central metal ion. So usually when you are going to name the complex, ligands should be given first preference. If there are more ligands present in the coordination entity, arrange it in the alphabetical order. First name the ligands according to the alphabetical order, and after that only you have to write the central metal ion. This is rule number 2. So rule number 2 is ligands has to be arranged alphabetically, and these ligands it has to be written alphabetical order. Only after naming the ligands the central metal ion can be named. So this is the second rule. Third rule I told about, if the number of ligands, if more number of individual ligands are present in the coordination entity, if more number of individual ligands are present in the coordination entity, we have to use the Greek prefix mono, di, tri, etc. When more number of individual ligands are present in the coordination entity, we have to use the Greek prefixes mono, di, tri, etc. I gave example. If the ligand itself complex, if a complex ligand is present in the coordination entity, yesterday we have seen triphenyl phosphine. We have seen 2 molecules of triphenyl phosphine yesterday in the example. So it is a complex ligand. Here the complex ligand has got numerical prefix. So in this case we have to use alternative prefixes I told yesterday. Bis, tris, tetrakis, etc. So if number of individual ligands are more in the coordination entity, we have to use the Greek prefix mono, di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, etc. When the complex ligand has numerical prefix, for example triphenyl phosphine, 2 molecules, yesterday we have written in the example. In such a case we have to use alternative prefixes like bis, tris, tetrakis, etc. And we are going to see the next rule now. When the coordination entity or if an anionic ligand is attached to the central metal ion, if an anionic ligand, anion means negative, if a negative ligand is attached to the central metal ion, the central metal ion should be ended with ATE. So this is another rule. If a negative ligand is attached to the central metal ion, or if an anionic ligand is attached to the central metal ion, the central metal ion should be ended with ATE. So this is next rule. So I am going to write now. So, we are going to discuss the remaining rules for writing the names of the coordination compounds. Already we have discussed 4 rules yesterday. Some more rules are left behind. We are going to say all those rules one by one so that you will have a clarity in order to name a coordination compound. Rule number 5. When an anionic ligand that is negative ligand, anion is nothing but negative. So when an anionic ligand, that is negative ligand, is attached when an anionic ligand is attached to the central metal ion, so when an anionic ligand or negative ligand is attached to the central metal ion, the central metal ion should be ended with ATE. So the rule is very clear. When an anionic ligand or negative ligand is attached to the central metal ion, the central metal ion should be ended with ATE. I am going to write an example now. A complex is coming like this. So this is an anionic ligand. See the species inside the square bracket, cyanogen, which is a negative ligand, anionic ligand. So anionic ligand is attached to the central metal ion. Here the central metal ion is Fe. So the condition is very clear, the rule is very clear. When an anionic ligand is attached to the central metal ion should be ended with ATE. So here for iron the symbol is Fe, ferrum. So what is the name? So it has got the name ferrum. So as the rule is very clear that as the cyanogen is a negative ligand which is attached to the central metal ion, the central metal ion should be ended with ATE. So Fe, ferrum, should be named as ferrate. So when you write the name of the complex, it will be hexacyano. There are 6 cyanogen. Hexacyano or cyanido. Hexacyanido. As it is a negative ligand which is attached to central metal ion, so central metal ion should be ended with E. So hexacyano ferrate. Ferrate 2 ion. So the name of the complex is hexacyano ferrate 2 ion. So the rule is very clear that Cn is a negative ligand or anionic ligand bonded to the central metal ion. So the condition is when the negative ligand or anionic ligand is bonded to the central metal ion, the central metal ion should be ended with ATE. Here Fe is the central metal ion. So the name is ferrum. Actually for iron it is ferrum. From that only we have taken the symbol Fe. So if it is ended with ATE, ferrum will be converted into ferrate. So the name of the complex is hexacyanido. Cyanogen is a negative ligand, so it should be ended with O. So hexacyanido ferrate. The oxidation number or oxidation state for iron is 2 here. Already I told you should be written in Roman numeral in parenthesis. So ferrate 2. It is a charged complex because outside the square bracket we can see the charge. So we have to indicate as ion. So the name of the complex is hexacyanido ferrate 2 ion. Fe, that is iron, is the central metal atom here. So this is one rule. This rule we are going to continue. If the cationic ligand or neutral ligand attached to the central metal ion, if the cationic ligand or neutral ligand attached to the central metal ion the name of the central metal ion has to be written as the element. So already we have talked about anionic ligand. Whenever anionic ligand is attached to the central metal ion, I told the condition. The central metal ion should be ended with ATE. For that I gave an example. And if it is a cationic ligand or if it is a neutral ligand attached to the central metal ion, there is no change in the ending of the central metal ion. There is no characteristic change in naming the central metal ion. So this is the rule which is continued here. So if a cationic ligand or neutral ligand is attached to the central metal ion, there is no change in naming the central metal ion, or the central metal ion can be written as it is. For example, see here, it is a cationic complex. It is a cationic complex. So here when you name this complex, what is the ligand present here? Amine. So when you name this complex, how will you name? Tetramine. So as it is, already I told you, if it is a cationic ligand or neutral ligand attached to the central metal ion, it is a cationic complex. So the central metal ion will be written as it is. So whatever is given there, it should be written as it is. So here tetramine, the central metal ion is copper here. So tetramine copper. The valency of copper here is +2. So usually it should be written in Roman numeral in parenthesis. So tetramine copper 2 ion. Why I have written ion here? Because it is a charged complex. So that is outside the square bracket, above at the right superscript, you can see the 2 plus, that is, it is a charged complex, it has a positive charge. So it is a cationic complex, that's why I have indicated ion at the end. So this is very clear that it is amine when it is attached to the copper. So I can name it as tetramine. Copper can be written as it is. So tetramine copper, the oxidation state of copper is 2 here. I have indicated in Roman numeral in parenthesis. For 2 plus I can indicate as ion. It is a charged complex. That's why I am writing it as ion. One more example is also coming. This is cationic complex. This is neutral complex. So the rule says that whether it is a cationic complex or neutral complex, the central metal ion, there is no change in writing the name of the central metal ion. The central metal ion can be named as it is. For that, I have given an example, cationic complex, where tetramine copper 2 ion is an example. The next one, we are going to say iron which is bonded with 5 carbon monoxide. This we can call it as carbonyl group. This is actually carbonyl group, carbonyl. So this carbonyl is a neutral ligand. So it is CO is nothing but carbonyl, which is a neutral ligand. So even a neutral ligand is attached to the central metal ion, or there is a neutral complex. So we can write the central metal ion as it is. There is no change in writing the name of the central metal ion. We are going to give the name for this. I am going to give the name for this complex. That is FeCO5. Already I told you, ligand should be given first preference before naming the central metal ion. There are 5 carbonyl groups attached to central metal ion. So, penta carbonyl pentacarbonyl. So, iron. The charge of the iron is 0 here. So, carbon monoxide is a neutral ligand. So, charge is 0. So, pentacarbonyl iron 0, which is the oxidation state. So, it should be indicated in parenthesis. So, as a cationic or neutral complex, the central metal ion should be written as it is. There is no change in writing the name of the central metal ion. So, this is next rule. Then we are going to say another rule. Oxidation state or oxidation number. Oxidation state or oxidation number of the central metal ion oxidation state or oxidation number of the central metal ion should be indicated by Roman numeral . So, oxidation state or oxidation number of the central metal ion should be indicated by Roman numeral in parenthesis. So, this is next rule. Already I have introduced this. When you are going to write the oxidation state of a central metal ion or oxidation number of a central metal ion, it should be written in Roman numeral in parenthesis. So, I am going to give an example now. For example, a complex is coming like this. A complex is coming like this. Here, the central metal ion is cobalt. The symbol is CO, cobalt. The ligand attached here is ammonia. There are 3 ammonia molecules attached to cobalt. So, we are going to find out the oxidation state of central metal ion. Here, the central metal ion is cobalt. So, already I told you, I don't know the oxidation state of cobalt. I am assuming it as X. For cobalt, I am assuming it as X plus 3 into ammonia molecules, NH3 plus 3 into chlorine atoms, chloride ions, that should be equal to 0. So X plus 3 into ammonia, it is 0. It is a neutral ligand, so charge is 0. X plus 3 into 0 plus 3 into, for chlorine it is minus 1, is equal to 0. X plus 0 minus 3 is equal to 0. X minus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, X is equal to plus 3. So, I have taken the oxidation state as X. I have assumed the oxidation state of central metal ion as X because I don't know. I have assumed it as X. Plus, there are 3 ammonia molecules. So, plus 3 into ammonia. Plus, there are 3 chlorine atoms also. So, 3 into Cl minus, that is equal to 0. Everything, if you are adding up, it should be equated to 0. X plus 3 into, for ammonia it is a neutral ligand, charge is 0. So X plus 3 into 0 is plus 3 into Cl minus is a negative charge. There are 3 chlorine atoms. So 3 into minus 1, that is equal to 0. X plus 0 minus 3 is equal to 0. X minus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore X is equal to plus 3. Therefore the oxidation state of cobalt is three, which is Roman numeral in parenthesis. So this is one example, and there is another example. We are going to say nickel tetracarbonyl. Nickel tetracarbonyl. One more example we are going to say. Here the central metal ion is nickel. We are going to calculate the oxidation state of the central metal ion. I am assuming it as X. I don't know the oxidation state of nickel. So I am taking it as X. So X plus 4 into carbonyl group, that should be equated to 0. So X plus 4 into 0, 0. X plus 0 is equal to 0. X is equal to 0. Therefore, oxidation state of nickel is 0 here. So, we have seen how to calculate the oxidation state and how the oxidation state of the central metal ion is indicated. For that, I gave 2 examples. We are going to see the next rule. The point of attachment. The point of attachment. When a ligand coordinates through more than one atom, when a ligand coordinates through more than one atom, the point of attachment of the ligand when a ligand coordinates through more than one atom, the point of attachment of the ligand should be indicated by writing the name of the atom by writing the name of the atom at which the coordination occurs after writing the name of the ligand. So the last rule, that is the point of attachment, we are going to see. When a ligand coordinates through more than one atom, the point of attachment of the ligand should be indicated by writing the name of the atom at which the coordination occurs after writing the name of the ligand. So we have to say through which the coordination occurs after writing the name of the ligand. Only if you write the example, this rule will be very much cleared. We are going to see the example now. For example, a complex is coming like this. See, when you talk about the ligand here, NO2, this is nitrito. Nitrito N attached. So, here the coordination is taking place through nitrogen. Nitrogen is going to donate the electron pair. So, through nitrogen the coordination is taking place. So, it can be written as nitrito N attached. If the same ligand I am writing like this, the same ligand I am writing like this. Here the donor is oxygen. Through oxygen the ligand is attached. The ligand oxygen is here from the ligand. From this ligand, oxygen is going to donate the electron pair. We can call it as nitrito O. Nitrito O attached. So, there is this nitrito we are going to say. This nitrito group, there are two ways of coordination. First one, if NO2 minus, when the attachment is taking place through nitrogen. When nitrogen is going to donate the electron pair towards the central metal ion, we can name it as nitrito N attached. If the same ligand, I am writing it as ONO minus. Here the oxygen atom is donating or coordinating to the central metal ion. Oxygen is donating the electron pair to the central metal ion. So, coordination is taking place through oxygen. So, we can call it as nitrito O attached. So, after this I am going to explain this complex now. We are going to name this complex. So, cobalt is the central metal ion here. Already I told you NO2 minus. Here the attachment, the coordination is taking place through nitrogen. So, coordination is taking place through nitrogen. Already I have explained there. So how will you name the ligand now? There are two different ligands attached to the central metal ion. So it has to be arranged alphabetically. So this is nitrito, this is amine. So nitrito, amine, triamine, trinitrito. So you have to write like this, triamine, trinitrito. Write down. So we are going to write the complex now. Triamine, trinitrito. Here the coordination is taking place through nitrogen. So I have to indicate S as N. So triamine, trinitrito N. The name of the central metal ion is cobalt here. Cobalt. See the charge now. So here there are three nitrito ions. For nitrito it is -1. The charge is -1. For nitrito it is -1. There are three nitrito ions. So -3. Already I told you. In a coordination complex, positive and negative charges should be neutralized. If it is -3, there should be +3. So there are three negative ions. There should be three positive ions. Therefore, coordination, that is the oxidation state of cobalt or oxidation number of cobalt is +3. So, triamine, trinitrito, N attached because the coordination is taking place through nitrogen. So, I have indicated this as N. So, the central metal ion is cobalt. The oxidation state is 3. And one more complex we are going to say. That is another complex. See the first case. Both are nitrito. The first case also I have written NO2 minus nitrito, where the point of attachment is through nitrogen. The point of attachment is through nitrogen. The second one, this nitrito I have rearranged as ONO minus. Here the point of attachment is through oxygen. So we are going to say another example. So CO, ONO, NH3 5 times inside the square bracket and sulfate is present outside. So we are going to name the complex now. So the name of the complex is, so write down, it has to be arranged in alphabetical order. So amine will be coming first, followed by nitrito. So write down, there are 5 ammonia molecules, so it can be written as pentamine. Pentamine, only one nitrito group is attached here towards central metal ion. Pentamine, nitrito. Here the point of attachment is through oxygen. The point of attachment is through oxygen, so it should be indicated as O. So pentamine, nitrito, O. The central metal ion here is cobalt. Okay. See the charges now. For amine it is 0. Amine is a neutral ligand, so charge is 0. For nitrito it is -1. So for nitrito it is -1. For amine it is 0. If you come outside the square bracket, sulfate ion is there. It has got -2 charge. So sulfate ion present outside the square bracket as -2 charge. So -2 -1, that is -3. There are 3 negative charges totally. Therefore, there should be 3 positive charges. So the oxidation state of cobalt is cobalt 3. So outside the square bracket, sulfate is present, cobalt 3 sulfate.